Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Rupinder Kaur Chawla with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in Gujarat Gaurav Abhiyan program at Vadodara, inaugurates and lays the foundation stones of development projects worth over 21,000 crore rupees. Prime Minister also unveils redeveloped temple of Sri Kalika Mata Temple at Pavagadh Hill in Panchmahal, Gujarat. Ministry of Home Affairs to reserve 10% vacancies for Agniveers in Central Armed Police Forces and Assam Rifles. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar with his Vietnamese counterpart launches joint logo for celebration of 50 years of bilateral diplomatic relations. Flood situation in Assam remains critical. Prime Minister assures all support from the centre. 2 explosions take place near a Gurudwara in Afghanistan's capital Kabul. New Delhi expresses concern, says closely monitoring the situation. Indian women's hockey team to take on Argentina in FIH Women's Hockey Pro League tournament at Rotterdam in Netherlands this evening. And in badminton, HS Pranoy to take on China's Chao Chun-Fang in the semi-final of Indonesia Open Super Tournament this afternoon. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is participating in Gujarat Gaurav Abhiyan program at Vadodara in Gujarat. He inaugurated and laid the foundation stones of several development projects worth over 21,000 crore rupees. We now take you live to the Prime Minister's address in Vadodara.
यह माँ की तरह संस्कार देने वाला शहर है। वडोदरा संस्कार की नगरी है। ये शहर हर प्रकार से यहाँ आने वालों को संभालता है, सुख दुख में साथ देता है और आगे बढ़ने के अवसर देता है। इस शहर ने आ शहरे क्यारेक मने पर साच्યું હતું। મારું પણ લાલન પાલન કર્યું હતું। यह नगर प्रेरणा का नगर है। इस नगर ने स्वामी विवेकानंद, महर्षि अरविंद, विनोबा भावे और बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर जैसे महापुरुषों को भी इस हमारी नगरी ने प्रेरित किया है। आप सबको भी याद होगा, मुझे तो भली भांति याद रहना स्वाभाविक है कि बेलूर मठ के अध्यक्ष और मेरी किशोरावस्था में जिन्होंने मुझे जीवन के बहुत से रास्तों का मार्गदर्शन किया, एक गुरु की तरह मेरे जीवन को घड़ने में बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई। वैसे बेलूर मठ के रामकृष्ण मिशन मठ के अध्यक्ष स्वामी आत्मस्थानंद जी की उपस्थिति में मुझे यहां वडोदरा में दिलाराम बंगलो रामकृष्ण मिशन को सौंपने का अवसर मिला था। અને વડોદરા આવો એટલે બધું જૂનું યાદ આવે જ ભાઈ।
Mr. Modi dedicated to the nation the 357-kilometre-long new Palanpur-Madar section of dedicated freight corridor, gauge conversion of 166-kilometre-long Ahmedabad-Botad section, and electrification of 81-kilometre-long Palanpur-Meetha section. He also laid the foundation stone of redevelopment of Surat, Udhna, Somnath and Sabarmati stations, along with some other initiatives in the railway sector. These projects will help to lower logistic costs and boost industry and agriculture sector in this region. Mr. Modi also laid the foundation stone of Gujarat Central University in Kundhela village of Dabhoi Taluka near Vadodara. He also launched Mukhyamantri Matru Shakti Yojana and Poshan Sudha Yojana to further improve maternal and child health in the state. Earlier today, the Prime Minister unveiled the redeveloped temple of Sri Kalika Mata at Pavagadh Hill in Panchmahal district. He also performed puja with traditional rituals at the temple. Mr. Modi hoisted a dhwaja at full mast atop the shrine. The sanctum sanctorum of this grand Mahakali temple has been made of gold. It is one of the oldest temples in the region and attracts pilgrims in large numbers. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister said this temple also symbolizes Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas. The Prime Minister expressed his gratitude for his good fortune of being at the temple. He underlined the importance of the moment today when, after 5 centuries and even 75 years after independence, Dhwaja, the sacred flag, was hoisted on the temple. He said, this Shikhar Dhwaj, a symbol of the fact that centuries change, eras change, but the faith remains eternal.
मेरे लिए जीवन की बड़ी धन्य पल है। सपना जब संकल्प बन जाता है और संकल्प जब सिद्धि के रूप में नजर के सामने होता है तो उसका आनंद कितना हो सकता है इसकी आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं। आज का ये पल मेरे अंतर मन को विशेष आनंद से भर देता है। कल्पना कर सकते हैं 5 शताब्दी के बाद और आजादी के 75 साल बीतने के बाद 5 शताब्दी तक मां काली के शिखर पर ध्वजा नहीं फहरी थी। आज मां काली के शिखर पर ध्वजा, ये पल हमें प्रेरणा देती है, ऊर्जा देती है और हमारी महान परंपरा और संस्कृति के प्रति समर्पित भाव से जीने के लिए हमें प्रेरित करती है।
Saying Garvi Gujarat is synonymous with pride and glory of India, Mr. Modi said Pavagadh has been a centre of universal harmony with the historical diversity of India. Mr. Modi said this pinnacle flag is not only a symbol of our faith and spirituality, but it also symbolizes that the peak of faith remains eternal despite change in centuries. The Prime Minister said New India is living in its ancient identity along with modern aspirations. Referring to the Ram Temple in Ayodhya, Kashi Vishwanath Dham and Kedar Dham, the Prime Minister pointed out today the spiritual and cultural glory of India is being restored. Mr. Modi prayed to the Mother Goddess to bless him so that he continues to serve the people of the country with more energy, sacrifice and dedication.
मां काली का आशीर्वाद लेकर इतिहास गवाह है। स्वामी विवेकानंद जी मां काली के आशीर्वाद लेकर के जन सेवा से प्रभु सेवा में लीन हो गए। मां मुझे भी आशीर्वाद दे कि मैं और अधिक ऊर्जा के साथ और अधिक त्याग और समर्पण के साथ देश के जन जन का सेवक बनकर उनकी सेवा करता रहूं। मेरा जो भी सामर्थ्य है, मेरे जीवन में जो भी कुछ पुण्य है, वो मैं देश की माताओं बहनों के कल्याण के लिए, देश के लिए समर्पित करता रहूं।
In the context of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Prime Minister said, Gujarat has made sterling contributions in the freedom struggle as well as in the development journey of the nation. Garvi Gujarat is synonymous with pride and glory of India, he said. He said, in the glorious tradition of Somnath's temple, Panchmahal and Pavagadh have kept working for the pride in our heritage. Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel said the Gujarat government has developed many ancient and historic temples to boost the pilgrimage tourism in the state. President of Pavagadh Temple Trust Surendra Patel said nearly 2 crore devotees visit this temple every year. He said redevelopment of the temple has been completed at a cost of 125 crore rupees.
Prime Minister met his mother, Hiraben Modi, at Gandhinagar on her birthday this morning and sought her blessings on the occasion. The Prime Minister's mother, Hiraben, enters the 100th year of her life today. In a blog, Prime Minister Modi said children have a special affection for their mothers. He said a mother not only gives birth to her children but also shapes their mind, their personality and their self-confidence. And while doing so, mothers selflessly sacrifice their own personal needs and aspirations. Tomorrow morning, the Prime Minister will dedicate to the nation the main tunnel and 5 underpasses of Pragati Maidan Integrated Transit Corridor project in Delhi. He will also address the gathering on the occasion. The Integrated Transit Corridor project is an integral part of Pragati Maidan redevelopment project. The project has been built at a cost of more than 920 crore rupees. It is aimed to provide hassle-free and smooth access to the new world-class exhibition and convention center being developed at Pragati Maidan.
The Ministry of Home Affairs has decided to reserve 10% vacancies for recruitment in Central Armed Police Forces and Assam Rifles for Agniveers. In a tweet today, the Office of the Home Minister said the ministry has also decided to give 3 years age relaxation beyond the prescribed upper age limit to Agniveers for recruitment in the Central Armed Police Force and Assam Rifles. It said for the first batch of Agniveers, the age relaxation will be for 5 years beyond the prescribed upper age limit. Navy Chief Admiral R. Hari Kumar has said the Agnipath scheme is a transformational scheme. He said it is a made in India and a made for India scheme. Appealing to the protesters to remain peaceful, the Navy Chief said they should read and understand the Agnipath scheme as this is an opportunity to serve the nation. Calling it the single biggest human resource management transformation in the Indian military, Admiral Hari Kumar said protests are happening due to misinformation and misunderstanding of the scheme.
Bihar government has instructed security forces to take stern action against troublemakers amid Bihar Bandh called by various youth and student unions against provisions of the Agnipath scheme. After reviewing the prevailing situation, Director General of Police S.K. Singhal said besides 35 companies of Bihar Special Military Police, 10 companies of Central Paramilitary Forces have been deployed in different parts of the state to avert untoward incidents. 3,000 additional forces have also been deployed in sensitive areas of the state. Meanwhile, the state government has suspended internet services in 15 districts till tomorrow to maintain law and order situation. Over 300 trains were cancelled due to the protests in Bihar. Most of the trains either originating or passing through Patna have been cancelled.
Chief of the Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, today asked the newly commissioned officers of the Air Force to be torchbearers in leading the change that is taking place through transformational reforms. He was addressing the passing out parade after reviewing the combined graduation parade at the Air Force Academy, Dundigul. On the outskirts of Hyderabad this morning, General Pandey said the disruptive technologies are shaping the character of modern warfare.
Harnessing and leveraging technology is no longer an option, but an essential mission mandate. There are also transformational reforms underway in the armed forces, in the human resource management and other domains such as capability development with focus on Atmanirbharta.
Mentioning that the country's security is a vast, complex and multifaceted sector, the Army Chief said internal security is equally challenging.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in Gujarat Gaurav Abhiyan program at Vadodara, inaugurates and lays the foundation stone of development projects worth over 21,000 crore rupees. Prime Minister also unveils redeveloped temple of Sri Kalika Mata Temple at Pavagadh Hill in Panchmahal, Gujarat. Ministry of Home Affairs to reserve 10% vacancies for Agniveers in Central Armed Police Forces and Assam Rifles. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar with his Vietnamese counterpart launches joint logo for celebration of 50 years of bilateral diplomatic relations. Flood situation in Assam remains critical. Prime Minister assures all support from the centre. 2 explosions take place near a Gurdwara in Afghanistan's capital Kabul. New Delhi expresses concern, says closely monitoring the situation. Indian women's hockey team to take on Argentina in FIH Women's Hockey Pro League tournament at Rotterdam in Netherlands this evening. And in badminton, it is Prannoy to take on China's Chao Chun Feng in the semi-final of Indonesia Open Super Tournament this afternoon. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the Midday News. In Afghanistan, 2 blasts took place near a Gurudwara in capital Kabul this morning. Afghanistan's Tolo News tweeted that the sound of explosions was heard in Karte Parwan area of the city. According to media reports, multiple gunshots were heard in the area and there were at least 16 devotees in the Gurudwara. Local news reports say the area is densely populated and several people are feared dead. According to media reports, security forces have reached the spot to investigate the matter. Meanwhile, India has expressed concern at the blasts in Kabul. External Affairs Ministry spokesman Arindam Bagchi said India is closely monitoring the situation and waiting for further details on the unfolding developments.
In Jammu and Kashmir, a police sub-inspector was shot dead by terrorists last evening at Sambura in Pampore area of South Kashmir's Pulwama district. In a tweet, the Kashmir Zone Police said the body of the sub-inspector was found in the paddy fields near his home. It said the preliminary investigation revealed that the sub-inspector had left his home for work in his paddy fields in the evening where he was shot dead by terrorists using a pistol. A case has been registered in the matter. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said there is a strong possibility of the electoral process starting in Jammu and Kashmir by the end of this year. Mr. Singh was speaking at a function in Jammu yesterday to mark 200 years of the coronation of Maharaja Gulab Singh.
यहाँ की विधानसभा का स्वरूप थोड़ा बदलने जा रहा है। अब तक 83 विधानसभाओं में जम्मू क्षेत्र के 37 और कश्मीर से 46 सीटें हुआ करती थी। अब इसमें बदलाव आया है कि कुल 90 सीट्स में से 43 जम्मू और 47 सीटें कश्मीर में होंगी। मुझे लगता है इस साल के अंत तक हो सकता है कि चुनावी प्रक्रिया भी प्रारंभ हो, जिसकी प्रबल संभावना है।
The Defence Minister said Jammu and Kashmir has been fully integrated with the rest of the country and set on the path of renewed growth and development post the abrogation of Article 370. Mr. Singh said Pakistan is unable to digest the fact that India is moving ahead despite challenges and is trying to foment trouble in India, especially Jammu and Kashmir.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and his Vietnamese counterpart Phui Thanh Son launched the joint logo for the celebration of 50 years of India-Vietnam diplomatic relations. The logo was launched in an event on the sidelines of the special ASEAN-India Foreign Ministers meeting in New Delhi. The External Affairs Ministry said the logo has been selected jointly by the two sides through a contest open for nationals of both countries. The image represents long-standing friendship between India and Vietnam symbolically through a peacock and a crane, the birds of national importance in the two countries respectively. In Assam, the flood situation remains critical. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma today visited flood-affected areas in Kamrup district and assured all help to the affected people. The Chief Minister informed that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has assured support from the centre in relief and rehabilitation work in the state. Mr. Modi spoke to Mr. Sarma this morning and expressed concern over the hardships being faced by the people of the state due to the natural calamity. About 19 lakh people have been affected in the floods in 2,930 villages. Over 1 lakh people have taken shelter in 373 relief camps. 9 people have lost their lives in the last 24 hours. Landslide incidents have been reported from the Mahasao, Goalpara, Morigaon, Kamrup and Kamrup metropolitan districts. Beki, Manas, Pagladia, Puthimari, Jayabharali, Kopili and Brahmaputra rivers are flowing above the danger level in many places. Over 43,000 hectares of cropland is submerged in floodwater. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Janotsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz will be shared with the listeners on Monday, 20th of June. And now, let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
episode, we remember the legendary freedom fighter, Rani of Jhansi, Lakshmibai, who was martyred on 18th of June 1858. Her stories of valor and resistance against the British still continue to fill everyone's heart with immense pride and gratitude.
मैं लक्ष्मीबाई हूँ, झांसी की रानी। झांसी को अंग्रेजों के हाथों में नहीं जाने दूंगी।
Rani Lakshmibai was born as Manikarnika Tambe on the 16th of November 1835. Her father shifted to Bithur, where she grew up and came in close contact with Nana Sahib, Tantya Tope and Rao Sahib. She was affectionately called Manu by her parents and Chabili by the Peshwa. Lakshmibai received traditional education and welding of small arms. Beautiful, intelligent, energetic and courageous, she was married to Maharaja Gangadhar Rao of Jhansi in 1842.
A magnetic personality, Lakshmibai was endowed with high administrative caliber. Her only male child died in infancy, and her husband passed away on 21st of November 1853, nominating Lakshmibai as regent of his adopted son Damodar Rao. But she was not permitted by the British authorities to adopt a successor. Her territory was annexed under the Dalhousie's Doctrine of Lapse on 27th of February 1854.
Rani Lakshmibai's appeals to the British went in vain. When the First War of Independence started in 1857, Rani Lakshmibai was drawn into it and became the sole authority in her region. After the massacre of the British at Joghanbagh by the Sepoys on the 8th of June 1857 and their departure for Delhi, the Rani assumed the reins of government and successfully met the challenges posed to her.
On being attacked by British General Hugh Rose on 20th of March 1858, she heroically defended Jhansi for 2 weeks and eventually escaped to Kalpi on horseback along with her son. Later she joined Tantya Tope and Rao Sahib, but their combined forces were defeated by the British. Lakshmibai then reached Gwalior and surprised the British by capturing Gwalior.
When Sir Hugh Rose renewed the British attack on the Gwalior fort, the Rani fought to the finish. Swords in both the hands and the reins of the horse in her mouth, she died a glorious death in the thick of the battle on 18th of June, 1858.
All India Radio News salutes the valor and love for the motherland of legend of Jhansi, Rani Lakshmibai.
On the 18th of June 1946, freedom fighter Ram Manohar Lohia lit the torch of the last phase of the freedom movement against the Portuguese in Goa. Lohia openly defied the government orders against holding a public meeting at Madgaon and rebuked Captain Fortunato Miranda, the administrator of the district. While initiating the civil disobedience movement in Goa, Lohia wrote an open letter to the Goans. He made it clear that the aim of the movement was to win civil liberties, but that the methods to be followed were those of mass awakening.
Lohia invoked the Indians to help the Goan brethren in their fight for liberties. The Congress Working Committee at Wardha passed a resolution and to support the Goans in their struggle for the restoration of civil liberties. But the Portuguese rulers, without realizing the signs of the time, called the civil disobedience movement as Movimento da Rua, meaning roadside agitation. However, this agitation spread across the state. Goa, Daman and Diu were liberated in 1956 after 451 years of Portuguese subjugation, thereby wiping off the last colonial vestige from the Indian soil.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Uttar Pradesh Madhyamik Shiksha Parishad will be announcing the results of class 10th and 12th state board examination today. The students who appeared for the Uttar Pradesh board examinations can check the results at the official website upmsp.edu.in and upresults.nic.in. Union Labour and Employment Minister Bhupendra Yadav has stressed on bringing transformation through change in behaviour to prevent lifestyle diseases in people. He visited Shamla Kunta Basti of Sanat Nagar in Hyderabad and took part in cleanliness and education campaign taken up by the ESI hospital doctors. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Yadav requested the residents to adopt disease prevention practices by maintaining cleanliness.
ESIC अस्पताल के माध्यम से जो स्वच्छता अभियान चलाया जा रहा है और उसमें सामान्य जो विषय की जानकारी है, जैसे कोलोस्ट्रम दूध बच्चे के लिए संजीवनी की तरह होता है, या न्यूट्रिशन भोजन किस प्रकार से है, या बैक्टीरिया को मौका न दे स्वच्छता, ऐसे जो बेसिक चीजें हैं उसके लिए ESIC अस्पताल के द्वारा एक बहुत अच्छा स्वच्छता अभियान चलाया गया। वैसे भी देश भर में ESIC के 160 अस्पतालों में योग दिवस का कार्यक्रम और प्रिवेंटिव तरीके से हम कैसे कर सके उसके लिए कार्यक्रम को चलाया गया।
The first batch of Hajj pilgrims left today for Mecca and Medina from embarkation point in Mumbai. Union Minister for Minorities Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi was present on the occasion. He said that Indian Hajj pilgrims should pray for happiness and prosperity for entire humankind and should be kept safe from all kinds of disasters. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has sent a gift of Bangladeshi mangoes for President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Consignment of 1,000 kilograms of Amrapali variety of mangoes has been sent to the President and Prime Minister each as a mark of friendship and gesture of goodwill. The Indian women's hockey team is all set to take on Argentina in FIH Women's Hockey Pro League tournament. The first match will be played at Rotterdam in Netherlands this evening. The second match is scheduled tomorrow at the same venue. The Indian team is currently placed at the third position in the points table with 22 points from 10 games, while Argentina team is at the top of the table with 38 points from 14 matches. In badminton, India's HS Pranoy will take on China's Chao Chun-pang in the semi-final of Indonesia Open Super Tournament this afternoon. World number 23 Pranoy defeated Rasmus Kemke of Denmark in straight games 21-14, 21-12 in the quarterfinal in Jakarta yesterday. A win today will take him to the summit clash of his first BWF 1000 tournament. In cricket, the fifth and final match of India-South Africa T20 International Series will be played at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru tomorrow. The decider match will start at 7:30 p.m. Last night in Rajkot, India registered an emphatic win over South Africa by 82 runs in the crucial encounter at the Saurashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Rajkot to level the series 2-2. Put into bat, India posted 169 for 6 in the stipulated 20 overs. Indian innings was powered by Dinesh Karthik's 55 off 27 balls and Hardik Pandya's 46 off 31 balls. The hosts dismissed South Africa for 87 in 16.5 overs. Avesh Khan scaled 4 wickets while Yuzvendra Chahal claimed 2 and Harshal Patel took 1 wicket. The men in blue will be attempting to bag the T20 International Series when they meet Proteas in the 5th match tomorrow in Bengaluru. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in Gujarat Gaurav Abhiyan program at Vadodara, inaugurates and lays the foundation stones of development projects worth over 21,000 crore rupees. Prime Minister also unveils redeveloped temple of Sri Kalika Mata temple at Pavagadh Hill in Panchmahal, Gujarat. Ministry of Home Affairs to reserve 10% vacancies for Agniveers in Central Armed Police Forces and Assam Rifles.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar with his Vietnamese counterpart launches joint logo for celebration of 50 years of bilateral diplomatic relations. Flood situation in Assam remains critical. Prime Minister assures all support from the centre. 2 explosions take place near a Gurudwara in Afghanistan's capital Kabul. New Delhi expresses concern, says closely monitoring the situation. Indian women's hockey team to take on Argentina in FIH Women's Hockey Pro League tournament at Rotterdam in Netherlands this evening. And in badminton, HS Prannoy to take on China's Zhao Chunpeng in the semi-final of Indonesia Open Super Tournament this afternoon. And with that we end the midday news.